Hey, what's going on, everybody? David Fiore here, Stronger Every Week, coming back at you. I got this question posed to me a couple weeks ago by one of my training partners, and it's my main training partner. And at the time, I didn't know how to answer it. Now I know how to answer it because I actually asked a couple other people, and I asked myself, because the thumbnails, as the thumbnail states, is how not to be afraid of heavy weight, right? I never think something bad's gonna happen. I just take the weight and do what I can with it. In my head, one or two things are gonna happen, right? You're gonna take the weight for a ride. That's got to happen. For the second thing, you're either gonna make it or miss it. That's it. That's how I approach it. You're either gonna make it or you're gonna miss it. So I don't care if it's 300 pounds on there and 535 pounds on the bar. If you hand it off to me, I'm gonna take it for a ride. And in my mind, worst case scenario is I'm gonna miss it, and I'm gonna have to crawl out from underneath of it, and we're gonna have to strip it down, and it's a pain in the butt. But that's the way I think of it. I don't ever get scared of heavy weight, but I've never had that question asked to me. So what I did was I got a hold of three of the best benchers in the world in a poly shirt, not a band shirt, in a poly shirt, and we had a discussion. And the main consensus was that, first of all, you have to have strong mental fortitude. Secondly, you just can't care. What you can do is respect the weight, but don't care about it. And it sounds like an oxymoron, but let me explain. You respect what that weight can do to you, okay? Because the person that asked me this question wasn't afraid of taking the weight for a ride because they were going to miss it. They're afraid of taking certain weights because they think they're going to get hurt. And do you think you're going to get hurt before you go under a bar to do anything? Don't go under that bar. Literally, you're done for the day. So respect the weight. Know that weight's heavy. We're powerlifters. Know that weight is heavy. Know that weight can hurt you, but don't care because you asked for that weight to be on the bar because that's part of your program. Now, if you have a hard time with this, one thing that one gentleman said, and I can't say any names, just can't, is meditation to get your mind right. And the other thing is I program this individual. And I've programmed him in the past, and he's never had a problem with heavier weight than he's having a problem with now, mentally. And there's one common denominator to his problem and solution. The solution is he needs to look at the bar, respect the weight, but remember that's what he asked for and take it for a ride. Anytime that doubt creeps in his mind, he's done. And that goes for me, you, anybody out there. If you approaching a squat and when you're getting set up underneath of it, if in your mind you're going, wow, this can really hurt me, and that's what you're focusing on, instead of your cues, instead of tight back, chest up, 2 steps back if you're a walkout squatter, right? 2 steps back, brace on that belt, go, right? Or if you're in a monolift, get under nice and tight, nice low bar placement, nice up and erect, back, up. If you're not thinking of them cues in that situation, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna get hurt, most likely you might get hurt. Not saying you will, not saying you won't. Same thing with a bench press. If you're comfortable until up until 315, and as soon as 405 gets on there and 455 gets on there, if you're like, oh my God, like this is, I think I'm gonna get hurt. I think I'm gonna get hurt. Instead of remembering shoulder blades together, drop down my shoulders, gauge my triceps, keep my chest up as high as I can. Instead of going through all your cues, getting the bar out over you as far as you can, staying nice and tight, and then driving with your legs, whole body lift. If you're not thinking about all that and you're thinking, oh my God, this is gonna hurt me, you're most likely gonna half-ass it and not get it when you know you can, or you probably will get hurt. So my advice to anybody out there, because I've never had this question asked of me and I've never seen a weight that scared me. I've had weight in my hands where I was like, wow, like that feels heavy. Let's take it for a ride. But I never was like, wow, this feels heavy. Put this back in the rack. Never. I used to be a full meat lifter. I went to rack some stuff that I was like, wow, like that's a lot of pressure. I took it for a ride. You know, you miss. The worst thing that can happen. I mean, not the worst thing, but if your training is up to par and you're hitting numbers that you're supposed to be hitting and you're crushing them, the end game is easy. I mean, it should be an easy thing. So once like I always say, I don't edit my videos. What you see is what you get. Going back to it, anybody out there that's having a problem mentally that wants to go to the next level, whatever level you're on, we all have individual levels. Whatever level you're on, to break through to that next level, get your mind right, look at that weight and say to yourself, that's a lot of weight. I respect it, but I'm going to own it today. Today, I'm going to win. Going with that mindset, I'm going to win. There's nothing stopping me. Nothing. Not one thing stopping me. This is my weight. I own it. Going with that mindset, what's going to happen? You're going to make it or you're going to miss it. But you don't have doubt. You didn't already plant the seed of doubt in your head to give you the excuse, oh, I missed it because I'm not hydrated or blah, blah. Because as soon as someone looks at something and you see them getting all nervous and scared and stuff, two things are running through your head. Oh my God, I'm going to get hurt. Well, if I miss it, I'll use this for an excuse. Whatever, right? Cut the BS out and just go straight at it. And listen to your body. On a day where you're supposed to do a single, even if I programmed you, if you're supposed to do a single and that single flies, I mean, you unrack it or someone hands it off you and it just whoosh like miracle, take it for another single. Now, if you take your single that you've been crushing all your numbers up until this point, and you take your single and it's a grinder, slow grinder, you still won. No matter if it's fast or slow, it went up. You have to focus on the positives. You're not going to move a super heavy weight to you. Everyone has a certain weight that they feel is heavy. But to you, you're not going to move a super heavy weight with lightning speed. As long as you complete that task and you own that weight and no doubt gets put into your mind, you will be fine and everything will be gravy. So, how to not be afraid of heavy weight? Respect the weight. Don't give a F about it. Tell yourself you're going to own it and practice out of the gym. Maybe some meditation exercises, maybe some breathing exercises, whatever you have to do to get your headspace right. If you can't get your headspace right, then you need to tell the person that programs you, like me, or while you're trying to figure out what's making you nervous, you drop down and do a lot of volume, because no one ever quit powerlifting because of a number they were scared of. People stop powerlifting and because of numbers they couldn't hit, but weren't scared of it. So talk to your coach. Say, hey man, look at, I don't know what it is anymore, but I'm scared I'm gonna get hurt with that weight. I know I asked you to program me for that weight, but it's scaring me. And what I would do in that situation, and this is what I'm going to do, is we're going to put that weight in his hands more often. So we have a heavy single day coming up, and we're going to go as heavy as we can against 2 mini bands per side. People always say mini bands are 100 pounds. I have super long arms. It might be 100 pounds for me. My training partner might be 89, 95, 97.2. Who knows, right? But we're going to do our single week, which is next Saturday. Then after that, we're going to go into a volume phase. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put bands and chains on for the volume phase for him. I'm going to have him put his bench device on and have him handle close to the weight that scares him every week for sets of 10. And then we're going to do a reverse band on our third week. He should go well over what scares him for a set of 10. And it's just it's a good overall break. I'm going to do a video on about deloading. I do not believe in them, so watch out for that video. I'm going to break down how I deload. Makes no sense, that word. I really don't like it. So I'll make a video on what I do and what everybody should do before they start another training cycle over again. But once again, just if you're a little bit weak in the mind, and it's not putting anybody down, and I'm not picking on anybody, I'm just saying, if your mind's a little weak and things that you ask for, that you ask to be programmed for, I'm talking to everybody out there. If you ask somebody, hey, I squat 500, I want to squat 600, and you get to 575 and you're scared to death of getting hurt, go to them and tell them, hey, I don't know what's going on, and work through that together. Because a lifting partner or training partner, you should care about that person, whether they get hurt or they don't get hurt. It should be a priority for you. And the other thing too is, you always want to have friendly competition with your training partners, right? But it comes to a point where they got to be comfortable enough to come to you and say, hey, I don't know what it is, but I'm scared of this right here. And then if you got a group of people and stuff like that, don't be rude and be like, oh, you're not showing up no more. You won't do it. Blah. I belong to gyms that were like that. And maybe that's why I don't think about getting hurt. But looking at it now, that's not the right environment. I don't care who says what. I honestly don't care who you are and what you say. If someone's scared of a weight, you should help them overcome that fear and help them overcome the weight, because they're trying to do what you're trying to do. And if you're more experienced, you should be a role model and you should be a leader. You shouldn't be an ass. So with that being said, please like, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. I appreciate everybody that's liking my videos. I have a lot more content coming up. And I always got reels coming out. I did a light bench today, so we have some good reels coming out. Just light bench day, nothing special. But yeah, just be honest with yourself. And remember, respect the weight, but tell yourself, I'm going to own this today. Today, this weight is mine. Even if you're a little scared, it's okay. Adrenaline is good. You're a power lifter, right? All us guys and girls, we want to do stuff that's unnatural. And that's what we signed up for. So if you want to push through, get your mind right, and this, if you see something that you're like, oh, I don't know about this, snap right out of that and just be like, you know what? I'm taking it for a ride and I'm giving it 150%. That's it. Let's go. You have that mindset, you'll do really well, and you can also strengthen your mind and everything by doing breathing exercises, a lot of meditation, self-help books out there, everything. But long story short, respect the weight, but just take it for a ride. Either you're going to make it or you're not. And if it scares you, talk to somebody that's more experienced than you or has the same amount of experience and find out what you can do to overcome it, because you don't want that get in front of your goal. So from Stronger Every Week channel, I'm David Fiore. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace out. See you later.